Hi guys, I hope you're having a super duper great day. I'm feeling a lot better than what I did in my previous video talking about my tracheal shave. I think that's how you pronounce it. I might be butchering that, but anyways. If you're new here, my name is Mathilda. I'm a trans woman and I transitioned over 10 years ago. And today I'm going to talk about my tracheal shave. Or if you're not really familiar with the procedure, it's also called an Adam's apple shave. They shaved down my Adam's apple due to me having a lot of gender dysphoria. I kinda briefly, or I'm not sure if I briefly talked about that. I have no idea what I talked about in my previous video. I was so out of it. I was really tired. I had a lot of pain. I'm not entirely sure what I talked about, but I think I talked about me having a lot of gender dysphoria, and that was one of the biggest reasons, or like the only reason I got it done. What other reasons are there? Like, I don't know. I had it due to a lot of gender dysphoria that I've been living with for these past 10 years. But yeah, I was just finally ready to go through with this procedure, even if I've been really scared. I kind of talked about that in my previous video as well, that the reason why I didn't do it previously was just due to me being scared of having a big scar on my throat or my voice being messed up. But as you can tell, my voice isn't really messed up anymore. I mean, it's still a little bit strained, and you shouldn't... This is one of the things that I'm going to talk about in this video, but you shouldn't really strain your voice for like the first 6 months, I believe. So you should relax your voice, be chill, don't scream or make weird noises. And actually, I haven't been like the best. I haven't been doing my best, if I'm going to be completely honest. I've been singing and I've been making a lot of noises, weird noises, just like doing bad crazy things, and you shouldn't really be doing that. So I'm honestly hoping that I haven't messed up my voice yet. I'm trying my best not to, you know, speak in like the highest pitch possible, and I really try to keep my voice in check for now. But yeah, as you can tell, my voice is pretty much back to normal. I can feel it being strained, and it's not really back to normal like for me, but outside, like what people hear, I think I sound pretty much the same. Like in my last video, my voice was just like all over the place. It cracked, it was really high, and then it was low. Like, yeah, my voice was doing a lot of things except being normal. But what I was saying, you really shouldn't strain your voice for this first 6 months. And also, I was talking about cost. Plenty of people in my comment section and on TikTok, if you don't follow me on my TikTok, down below, Mathilda Hogberg's, the same as on my Instagram, follow me on there as well. I feel like I'm all over the place. But yeah, the cost. A lot of people have been talking about the cost. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know that I live in Sweden, as you can tell on my accent. So we have like the healthcare system. It's free for trans people if you have a diagnosis. It's like a long process. I started my process when I was 15, and then I talked to a lot of therapists and bunch of psychologists and doctors and everything, and then you get your diagnosis. And once that done, I think I was 18 at the time, so it took 3 years before I could start going on the hormone replacement therapy and having all of the surgeries. And once everything was done, they asked me, like when I think I was 19 at the time, when they asked me if I wanted to go through with, I'm sorry, I touched my hair. They asked me at that time if I wanted to go through with a tracheal shave, and I was so scared of having a visible scar on my throat that I kind of opted out on that option, which I regret to this day. I could have lived such a easy life if I just did it. Like, yeah. But now, when I'm 28, turning 29 really soon, I just finally wanted it done. And like from the time I talked to my doctor to when the surgery was scheduled, I think it was around like 4 months. So I talked to my surgeon in, I think it was November, and I told him I wanted it done, I wanted it removed, and I have brought this up to my doctors on multiple occasions over the years, but now like the gender dysphoria was just too much, and I feel I am losing out on a lot of happy memories due to me having a lot of gender dysphoria. Like whenever I look myself in the mirror, I see this big Adam's apple that isn't supposed to be there on my throat. However, it wasn't really that big. That's why I waited so long, because it honestly wasn't that visible. But yeah, I lost out on a lot of happy memories due to me being sad of my small but visible Adam's apple. So I just decided to get it done. I talked to him in November, and then they didn't really have a schedule. They said that I was on a waiting list. And then I think in like the beginning of March, I was scheduled to, or wait. No. I'm saying it wrong. Then in February, I can't pronounce February. Anyways, yeah, then in that month, I was scheduled to have it done early March. So yeah, but here we are. And I'm so unbelievably happy. I don't really care about the scar. As you can see, I still have a little bit of like a strip. I don't know how that's how you call it, like strip. We call them strips anyways. And I still have one of them on, and I'm going to have to change it once every week. Not more, not any less. It's really important to help the scarring go down, or like to help the scar heal better, and I'm going to do my absolute best in preventing any like bad scar tissue or anything like that. But yeah, what more? Like, I've talked about the voice, I've talked about the scar, I've talked about the cost, that it was free for me since I have diagnosis. Yeah, the risks. And also the surgeon. My surgeon, I have the same surgeon for everything, so he has essentially done everything. Like, he has removed my Adam's apple or shaved it down. He was the one who I went to, like, to get a breast augmentation, and also my SRS. So he's like my surgeon for everything, and he's absolutely amazing. I think he's really good. And at the start, when I met him for the first time, I was kind of like, this was when I was 18, I think 18, 19, when I met him for the first time, and I thought that he was kind of like pretty cold and distant but he's really good. I'm happy with him, so that's great. But anyways, the cost, it was free. The results, as you can tell, I can't really show you what it's like underneath, but as you can tell, my Adam's apple is practically gone. And this blue thing, this mark, it isn't a bruise or anything like that. It's just a blue marker. And the reason why this blue marker thing is still there is just due to me having like a big bandage, and I just removed it like before I started filming this. So I kind of briefly talked about this in my video before, but the risks are pretty minimal. It's pretty minimal invasive surgery, so the risks are not at any like, they don't happen a lot by any means, but the risks involve you losing your voice for a period of time. This didn't happen to me, just because I said these risks are very minimal. And then there's the risk of the skin attaching itself to the surgical area. So whenever you like speak, your skin kind of goes up and down. This is also a very small chance of happening. and it didn't happen to me, as you can clearly tell. And also another risk was what, okay, I have it on my phone, I'm going to. Losing range in your voice, minimal risk as well. And then there's a risk of infection. This also didn't happen to me. And then there's a risk of scar tissue. And I'm not like, I can't tell you if I'm going to have a visible scar or not, because I don't know yet. It's going to be swollen for at least 6 weeks. So still, I think I'm like 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks after the surgery, and still it's pretty swollen. As you can tell, it's like a bump on my throat, and that's not due to me having a visible Adam's apple. It's because it's swollen. That's what I'm trying to say. And the swollenness makes it so that it's harder to eat, I think. Like whenever I try to swallow any food, it kinda gets stuck there. Not stuck as I can't breathe, but it's just like uncomfortable, but it's getting better. And I've heard, like in one of my comments, I think she said that I should really, keep an eye on that. So I'm going to do that. And my next doctor's appointment, I think, is in 1 or 2 weeks. So yeah, I think that's everything for this video at least, and I can't show you any kind of results right now just because I'm still in the healing process, but I feel very happy and very upbeat, and as you can clearly tell, I'm a lot better in this video than in the previous video I made. Like in the previous video I was feeling all kinds of emotions and not a single positive one. Now I'm so happy, and I like, even if I still have some pain, however, not in the slightest the same as it was in my previous video or like the last week, I am feeling a lot better. The pain is almost completely gone. However, I still have trouble like lifting my head up too much or like moving it too much, because that's painful sometimes, or when I make a weird noise, it's still painful. Somewhat painful. So that's everything I wanted to say in this video, and if you're interested in seeing more in my healing process or more of me, I post daily on my TikTok, Mathilda Hogbergs, and my Instagram, Mathilda Hogbergs. I post daily on there if you're interested in seeing more content from me, and honestly, I would be so happy if you would check it out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!